Hi, welcome to the channel. This is Priscilla. Before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to subscribe because I'm going to be dropping some major gems in this video. So while you're at it, be sure to stick around because I am going to show you some ways that I get out of a funk. These are, I guess, things that work for me personally, so be sure to apply it or alter it or change it however you want to in order for it to kind of apply to your life. So during this video, I'm going to be getting ready. I was doing a whole lot of yapping, but I couldn't even use this footage because I lost the first part of it. So, I'm going to still try to repurpose it best I can. So without further ado, these are ways that I get myself out of a funk. The first way I get myself out of a funk is by listening to music. This has literally worked for me for years and years and years and years. I remember being an angsty preteen and my mom would ask me to do the dishes or something, and for some reason it would just make me so upset and it would just ruin my whole mood. I'm talking, my mood would be foul. But then I would listen to music and I just felt a whole lot better. I don't know why it was so, I guess, life-changing in those moments, but it really made me feel a lot better. These days, I listen to a lot of R&B, I listen to some K-pop, I listen to gospel music, just really anything that's kind of upbeat or melodic that makes me feel happy. Sometimes I listen to old classics that I used to love. I used to listen to a lot of Justin Bieber. I used to listen to a lot of Jonas Brothers and, maybe even some Disney Channel classic shows. I don't know if you guys remember Big Time Rush, but they low-key have some bangers and I've been to their concert a couple times, which is, very off topic, but, they're pretty good. So yeah, listening to music always gets me out of a funk. Usually, if it's something that's not too deep, music helps me feel more upbeat. Number 2, I like to go for a walk or stretching or doing some form of exercise. It really gets your blood flowing, gets your endorphins pumping, and you feel just a little bit better, if not kind of forgetting about the problem at hand. I find that working out makes managing my emotions a little more manageable and it makes it easier to deal with them as they come. And also when working out, I feel like I become closer to God. I know that might sound weird, but especially when I take walks, I pray a lot when I walk, and I feel like, I'm able to sort out my thoughts and really pray and get things out. All right, so the next thing I like to do is breathing exercises. If you have an Apple Watch, it has guided breathing exercises. And if you don't have one, just look one up on YouTube. And there are probably some really simple methods that you could probably look up on Pinterest or Google and just get out of a funk that way. Because sometimes it's about taking a step back and just realizing what you're facing right now is not going to be your forever. It's just a small moment in time, but sometimes these things can feel like this is gonna be never ending. So it can be hard, but keep the faith and do your breathing exercises. I don't know why I just had a country accent just now, but All right, so the next one is reading or watching an immersive show. I feel like whenever I watch a show that's super immersive, I'm always able to feel like I'm in a different, I don't want to say dimension, but a different frame of mind because it really makes you feel the things the characters are feeling in the show or book. So some genres that I recommend are dystopian novels because they're so different from reality, or, how people are very into fantasy novels. I guess a recommendation for that is the Akotar series. A lot of people like that because it's very, I guess, takes you out of the normal everyday since it is not reality. It's not based on reality. It's not realistic fiction. It's literally fantasy fiction. So, yeah, I would say the next genre I recommend. Romance novels are always good to get into because they really take you away from your everyday and from the stresses of everyday life. And like literally, like if you're just not having a pleasant day, just open a book and your book is having a pleasant day. You're gonna have a pleasant day with the book. Also, some genre of like television I recommend. Anime is really good. I think my favorite anime of all time is Hunter x Hunter, and then the next one after that is JoJo's Bizarre. Those two animes are super action filled, and I feel like they really place a value on friendship and relationship and, you know, loyalty and family. And I don't know, it for me, it really does it for me. So those are some shows I recommend if you're going to delve into anime. If you haven't ever watched one before, those are a good place to start. So I recognize that not everybody is able to get out of, you know, a funk in their current environment. Sometimes their current environment is what's causing the funk and the people in that environment. So what you're going to want to do is go to the local library, and the local library works because it's quiet and it's free, and you know, you can just, like I said in the tip before, you can immerse yourself in books and media and just kind of escape for a bit. So a lot of libraries have media centers where you can work on other things and get access to certain softwares that you wouldn't have otherwise if you don't have the money and things like that. So definitely visit the local library, get a library card, and escape there whenever you feel like, you know, you're in a really bad funk and your environment doesn't support you getting out of it. Next, I would say go to a coffee shop, get the cheapest thing on the menu, just to kind of put you in the coffee shop mood, and bring something to work on, such as your, I don't know, bring like schoolwork, bring literally anything, bring some books, just read, and drink your coffee and relax. Next, I would say this is something that always works for me. I don't know what it is, but it has dopamine in it. Getting dressed for the day and getting like ready for the day, that always helps me get out of a funk. And if it doesn't 100% pull me out, at least I look better than what I did before. So it really does help, I guess. And for the next step, doing my makeup, I think that gets me about 90% out of the funk. And doing my hair, it gets me about 100% out the funk. So literally, if I'm ever feeling like a foul mood coming on and I know I haven't gotten dressed for the day, I get dressed and then evaluate how I feel. And usually that helps. Not always though. So, you know, use this one as like a first, I guess, level of defense to fight bad mood, okay? And to fight the funk. I guess that's what we're calling it. Next, I think it's really important to work on creative outlets, and not just like outlets that you want to like lead to money or lead to something, because it's not always necessary to turn hobbies into something lucrative. I would say do hobbies that you do purely for enjoyment. So I recently just picked up crochet like within the past year, and I really enjoy it. And some people, like, they'll ask me like, hey, are you selling that? I'm not going to be selling anything crochet because it's just an enjoyable hobby for me. Now, when it comes to giving things away, of course, maybe I'll give some things away, but I'm not going to sell it because I want it to just be something that's enjoyable and that's like purely for myself and enjoyment and being creative. I would say that, you know, it's just important to work on creative outlets. If you like photography, do some photography, edit some photos. You know, if you like videography, shoot some videos, edit them, you know, make them as cool as you want, as cool as you can. And yeah, just do anything that you enjoy. Some people like to color, some people like to paint, some people like to draw, some people enjoy like the fill in the blank workbooks, and those are always cool. I think I have one called The Journal of Me, and I literally just fill out like a page every other day, and it's literally just a journal that documents like who you are. It asks you questions like, what's your favorite this, your favorite that, your least favorite, and like cute little questions like that. Another way to get out of a funk is to journal. Journaling, I feel like, helps me because I feel like, for myself personally, I am not always good at verbalizing how I feel. And when I journal things down, it really helps me to locate how I feel and what about a situation made me feel that way. So journaling is always a great way to reflect. And then it's also fun looking at your journal as time goes on and seeing how much you changed. So that's always really nice. So journaling really helps just to let those feelings out. And another way you can get yourself out of a funk, another way I get myself out of a funk, is drinking plenty of water and trying to eat foods that give me energy. So eating some fruit, eating some vegetables, keeping it balanced as much as you can. Sometimes junk food can make you feel better, but sometimes it just leads to more sluggishness. So, do what you can with your own energy levels, I guess, but usually eating fresh food helps with mood. So that's what I like to do. Next, if all else fails, I like to take a good old nap. Naps never hurt anybody, okay? Like, naps are good for you and they help me. It's another form of escape. And when you're really in a bad mood, naps are always there for you, okay? Next, I would say it's so important to pray and take time out to read the Word of God, because sometimes some things are about perspective, and once you gain that perspective from a spiritual place, like from your spirit and not from your flesh, then you're able to better assess, like, why am I even in this bad mood? Am I looking at things the wrong way? And am I not giving things to God? There's literally a song that talks about, the pain and the peace that the pain that we have and the peace that we forfeit when we don't give God everything in prayer. So be sure to do that because it does help. And another thing to add on to the journaling thing, sometimes I journal to God because it helps me feel better. So yes. Those are some ways I get out of a funk. And like I said, these are things that help me. Be sure to comment down below things that help you, because again, we are a community helping each other. So be sure to tell others what helps you get out of a funk, because literally those are just things that help me. And again, they're not quick fixes, they're not miracle workers, but they work in the moment and they're great. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys sticking until the end. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Priscilla_G_ and on TikTok, Priscilla_G__. Be sure to subscribe and like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, my loves.